Let's shift our focus to Europe now. At least 6 people have been killed after flash floods struck southeastern Spain. About 3,500 people have been forced to evacuate. The southeastern region was hit by the torrential rains for 2 consecutive days, which led to heavy floods in several areas. Now, the Murcia province was one of the worst hit. Streets turned into rivers and the beach was no longer identifiable in one of the Spanish towns in the province. Emergency services like firefighters and ambulances have been on high alert. Residents of flooded areas in southern Spain have started clearing houses and streets from mud and debris. Local citizens also pushed half-submerged cars out of the water. In fact, several cars have been swept away. They piled on top of one another. Now, the Urihula area suffered due to the overflowing of the river Segura. No one could leave or enter the region. The floods claimed its 5th victim on Friday. Thousands were evacuated in the Santa Mira because of excess water was released from a dam. Eyewitness footage shows water being released through one of the dam's spillways. The Spanish army has joined the rescue operations. Military emergency units came to the rescue of residents stranded in the floods in the Alicante province. Rescue workers, including over 1,500 army troops, have been using helicopters and boats to move the stranded people to safety. 2 airports, local train networks and dozens of roads were closed. The authorities have advised people to stay at home. Well, in the meanwhile, the London Fashion Week is also witnessing protests. In fact, climate change movement Extinction Rebellion has gone all out to draw attention to global warming. Their message is very clear. Switch to sustainable fashion or face the consequences. Here's how the fashion industry is threatening the planet.
The glitz and glamour of London Fashion Week enthralls every year. Top models and celebrity fashion designers showcase the latest trends in fashion. Glossy editors arriving in Mercedes-Benz E-Class cars, impromptu street-style runways and celebrity sightings are far too common. But this time the grand event started with far less grandeur and a lot more gore than London Fashion Week attendees are used to. Environmental activists from Extinction Rebellion disrupted the event. Wearing white dresses with blood-like stains, protesters glued themselves to one entrance of the main London Fashion Week building. Other demonstrators lay in a pool of pink liquid which they said depicted blood. A separate protest was planned by People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, PETA. Demonstrators poured buckets of black slime to draw attention to adverse environmental effects of the leather industry. The protesters' message: take climate crisis seriously. It's hard to imagine your favorite branded dress or faded jeans having grave impact on the planet. But experts say what we wear, from the way it's made to the way it's cleaned, can be a factor in global warming. Believe it or not, textile production produces 1.2 billion tons of CO2 per year. This is more carbon emissions than international flights and maritime shipping combined. A large proportion of clothing manufacturing occurs in China, which relies on coal-fueled power plants. And around 5% of total global emissions come from the fashion industry. Some emerging fashion designers like Hong Kong's Jessie Lee are capitalizing on rising consumer awareness and have shifted towards sustainable fashion. Lee turned sofas' leather covers into a jacket and made clothes from old curtains and bed linen, and even raincoats using umbrella fabric.
Try to make the design is fit for everyone. Like I can wear it, and all my family can wear it, and also my son or my grandson in the future.
Feeling the heat, now the biggest players in the fashion industry have united to stop global warming. In 2018, UN Climate Change has announced the launch of the Fashion Industry Charter for Climate Action. This is a series of targets with the aim to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 30% by 2030 and achieve zero emissions by 2050. 43 leading fashion companies have signed the agreement, including Adidas, Burberry, Esprit, Guess, among others. So what can you do to save the planet? Switching fabrics can help. Changing from virgin polyester to recycled material can cut emissions by over 46% per garment. Bureau Report, WIOn. World is One.